Okay. May. Okay. Said he heard his dog bark, went down in the gully, and there was a Bigfoot down over in there. And he said he got up and watched that thing for, I don't know, from 60 yards away for like 15, 20 minutes. Looked like it had suffocated the deer. It looked like it had body slammed that deer, right, like that. Okay? And he watched that thing for 15, 20 minutes, whatever, and it got up out and said it looked more like a bear than a people-looking ape or whatever, like a lot of them described it. But it said it had hands, and it was silvery gray looking, but it had hands, dexterous enough to reach down, pick that deer up with a hoof, and drug it off through the woods.
So if he means it looked like a bear, do you mean it had like a snout looking, or?
That's what I took as more than a face. It looked more like a bear, but yet it had dexterous enough hands to be able to grab that and pull it.
Okay.
So that was right down over in there. That's adjacent.
What area would that consider? Is there a run down there that it may be called, or there's a hollow down there or anything?
That might be the head of. I can't remember if I looked at my tax map. I just call it Centralia Road.
Centralia Road, okay.
Yeah, right. But that's a good sighting there.
Okay.
Okay. And let's see. What I don't know much about, but guy that works he's the investigator for the county court system, and he stopped by to get wood there about sometime in the past year. And he said he's seen one down at Little Birch.
Okay.
Out his window. Said it is black walking in above in the woods.
Okay.
Okay. But now the best sighting I seen. In fact, I went out there last evening, and my buddy Eldon, one homie's my elk hunting, but went on our last elk hunting trip to Colorado. But this is October 3 years ago. This is the best sighting I've heard. His woman, Beulah, goes and she'll sit in their tree stand to bow hunt hours and hours. Mm-hmm. Okay? And they live, out in the flatwoods. You cross the track down in there, and it's up behind her house, walking distance. She walks from her place up in there.
Okay.
But anyway, she had a tree stand there, and you know how bow hunters have their yardage marked off.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, 21 yards away from her tree stand. And it was, about 15 minutes till dark.
That's probably no further from here to the road.
That's close. I went out there, he showed it to me. And he said that he was on down the road bow hunting, and she called and said, "You better get over here. There's two gorillas at my tree stand." She thought they was gorillas.
Yeah.
Said they was about tall as me. They wasn't the 7 or 8 foot tall like you hear a lot.
I don't think they all are. You know what I mean?
Well, they have to be babies.
Yeah.
Little ones. So anyway, she watched them things. She said she's scared to death. She watched them things. They down there. She had a tube feeder. They got down on their knees and they was clawing that corn up there and with their hands and eating it out of that underneath that tube feeder. Mm-hmm. And she said that she was scared to death. Said, "Why didn't you get a picture if you had a camera?" You on your phone, you could call him. Said, "Well, I was too scared to even think about it."
Which you hear a lot of people say.
Right? Yeah. So she said, it got dark, and she got her light out and shone on. One of them put it just like we would like that. Something light shines, put its elbow up like that, and then they just walked up on 2 legs, back up over to the next flat, and was going.
So it put its arm up to block the light from its eyes.
Just like we would shield the light out of their eyes. But she thought at the time they was, gorillas. That's what she told it. Ellen said, she called me and said, "You better get those gorillas now." And then you said, "Well, them's, young Bigfoots."
How long ago was that?
That's, October 3 years ago now. 3 years ago, October.
So 2018.
More time flying, hard to keep track of it. Right. Okay, but now Eldon himself, he's, since we went, according to time flying, but our last elk hunting trip 2018, somebody asked me there last week, how long? I said 4 years, and looked at my license on my campers, and had it on road since 2013. So more time's flying.
Yeah.
But anyway, since then, he's seen a couple Bigfoot. He was since retired for disability or something. He's an Iraqi war veteran. But he worked at the all-night custodian at the Burnsville rest area. Okay. And he was going, just as you start out down off the interstate at Flatwoods, there's a crossover. You go from one side of the interstate, and they're probably about a mile on there on toward Burnsville. Okay. And he said they was 50 feet or so, right off the beach, just over the bank. Said he got a good look at the upper half thing. Said he was dumbfounded for about 2 hours. He got to work from seeing such a thing.
Yeah.
So, he has seen one himself. Now, his first sighting, the first sighting he knew about, we'll call, on past this house, this has been about 10 years ago. His boys come up there. There's no rifle range there. In fact, I went down there and turned around last night while it was pouring rain down the top.
Where's that at?
Okay, they call it Monkey Road out as you go. Where are you from?
I'm from Marion County.
Okay, so okay, so I,
Yeah, you have to.
You don't know this is specific. That's what I need to know.
Yeah.
That's what I thought I seen on the Bigfoot. Okay, right. But anyway, his boys have seen two down there. There's no might still be, one of the rifle clubs might still use it because they had a gate there and see whatever rifle.
And it's Monkey Road.
It's called Monkey Road. Actually, the official name is the Salt Lick Road. There's 2 or 3 Salt Lick roads all go back in that country back in there. It's the Salt Lick district.
Wonder why they call it Monkey Road.
I don't know.
That makes you
wonder.
Makes you
somebody
wonder,
seen a monkey down there or something?
Maybe that's how I got his nickname. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, his boys come in and said they'd.
Here's the other picture.
Oh yeah, show them the other picture. That's a different. Looking. That's the same place
You can
over
get it to where
Copeland.
you can see it better.
So you see the outline of that thing at night.
Because it's
I try to figure
him
that out, how
walking.
that shadow and the light looked on that thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my bearings. Okay, there's a tree coming up.
See, the sun hits the...
Yeah.
Come over there to where maybe you can see it better. That was in May.
Okay. This here?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so it was early summer, late spring. Then okay.
It was taken off of Kenny Bush's.
That same one, that
Camera
chick.
outside.
Okay, that's the same trail cam. Or the same guy will say.
But-
Probably same.
He would allow you to share it to me.
Well, I've shared this with everybody because
I started to post that on the
Kenny.
Bigfoot forum. I just never did yet. I like before I did that. I would like to got to the original one. Okay, found the explanation. Okay, because that one and the chest. Okay, where he took a picture, it's the delineate right here where it goes on up. That was just laying like on a quilt or a blanket or something. Where she got a picture of a picture of a picture. So we need to try to get the original, see what he's got and how much more we can see of that.
You know him
Kenny
personally?
took-
I don't know him. Travis does. Okay, her best friend April's man. Travis knows him.
That's what they'd like to do to him.
April's a Bush, and Sam Bush rinsed
Kenny
off of us.
Bush is married to Samantha. Okay.
Was
And
Kenny was?
I think he still is. But anyway.
Okay, I didn't know the
Kenny
relation.
Is the one that was the picture was on him, and Samantha was seeing him at the time, and she took it and she shared it with me, which because I was taking care of her mother.
Right.
But Kitty's a drug addict,
Okay.
and they get into it. So
Yeah, if it's no problem sharing it with me.
Well,
I can give you my
let's
phone
try
number.
to see if we can get the original. Then, that'll maybe motivate them.
but it was that, and then this one here, and those is the two, and we were talking about it.
I'd still like to see the original, but if she wants to share those.
Well,
with me,
okay,
I can
whatever
look
then.
down.
Well, okay, I've got it on my computer. I can email it to you.
Yeah, I can
you
give you
know,
my email or
Right, yeah.
both of them. Yeah. I'd see if I got a pen down there.
Well, we'll find something in there.
But yeah, it was, and this was in May, so this was
This
just May of
No,
last year.
no, a year ago now. Okay, I caught it last summer.
Okay.
Okay, but it was early summer or late spring or whatever.
Okay.
It is, right.
Because I had to go back to where she sent it to me on May the 3rd.
Okay.
And it was taken a few days before that.
Yeah, I can give you my email. You can do that. Or
Yeah, I know all kinds. I've talked to 34 people personally, seen
Okay.
them things. It's been probably 6-7 years ago. My nephew lived over on here. That's off 19 where you get off the interstate, start towards Summersville.
Okay.
And he come in there and said, "What's a Bigfoot look like?" There's one in
Was
above.
it white? Was it white?
Not this one, no.
Okay, because I've had 2 sightings from over there, white. In
Well, I'll
that,
tell you
in
about,
that
I know 5 sightings right up here, white ones.
Yeah.
5 of them. Okay. But, he seen it twice in a row. One was on Sunday, and he heard something else. He thought it was a panther or something. Went out there, got his gun, said this thing looked like a big 7-foot tall monkey. He had like fangs coming out there up above the road. He got scared, and it took somebody, some 4-wheelers come. It watched about 15 seconds, he said, and then some 4-wheelers come, and it went off up into the woods. Okay, and then he seen it 2 days later, about the same place. He got a little braver, went up to it, but then it moved or something, and he took off down over the hill, and his old red maple top down there, he upended over it, trying to run from it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I looked over, it's too dry in the summer. That's like in June or something. It's too dry to find any tracks. Okay, but anyway, that's where, the first, person I'd talked to. Now, it actually is his stepdad. The first sighting I'd ever heard in this county is out on Berry Fork, out blow heaters. Okay, my brother-in-law's Jeff, his first wife, seen one come in above their house there. He worked over at Pratt Whitney Aircraft at Bridgeport of an evening, and that would come in above her house. It hit about 7 foot tall. It was brown, come through the meadow about 75 yards away, making a whistling sound. And it looked and seen her, and it took off running.
Okay.
And she was so scared. 6 weeks she would not stay there by herself in that house. Him working the 3 till midnight shift or whatever, Pratt Whitney. So she went somewhere else and stayed.
That's outside of
Best
heaters?
behavior.
This was down at Berry Fork. Okay, right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go look for a strap.
Okay, look for a strap. Okay, so anyway, that's actually the first sighting. That was clear back in 1979.
79.
That's that long ago. Okay.
Okay, because the earliest one I got so far, that predates it by 10, almost 10 years. So the earliest one I got was
So they've been here. Okay, the farthest one back, some boy come, I lived down across the Ford garage, and I saw stuff in the tie yard, all the tie-ins and stuff that go to the coal mines. So people come all the time to get wood.
Right.
So most people is interested in and like to talk about. You get a few, no doubt. You like to look at like you're crazy. Why are you asking this stuff for? But most people are interested.
Well, how do they know to come to you? Is it because you have your shirt on, or they just know people?
No, the word gets around, and I've got an 8 foot tall Bigfoot cutout that hit my driveway.
Okay.
Then down one of my boys works for me. He's a good artist. He cut me out a Bigfoot about like that, a Bigfoot footprint painted black, and I got my 2705 house number on down by my driveway.
Okay.
So I ask around. So like I say, most people were interested in talking. The word gets around. People all the time bring me Bigfoot shirts from wherever they're. And the people that made that Bigfoot cutout for me, they're from Charleston.
Right.
They made that. Their Bigfoot believers, their daughter seen one, I don't know, a few years ago, but it is in Montana, along the edge of the road in Montana. 6 feet right at the edge of the berm. So anyway, the word's around there that I believe in Bigfoots and aliens, and I'm a spiritualist, believe in ghosts and dead talking through seance trumpets. I'm big into that. Got contacts the whole world. So anyway, people will tell you.
Right.
Okay, I'll tell you another good, you call it a sighting. Okay, there's a guy who lives out on the Braxton-Webster County line where the Mountain Valley Pipeline's coming down through. Out there, just kind of in the middle of nowhere, back in what they call Ware Mountain back in there.
Okay, now that's interesting because Chip out here was telling me about some stuff from Ware Mountain.
Well, okay. This is just where the guy lives. Okay, okay. But this wasn't where he seen it. Okay, this was, he told me this about probably a year and a half ago, and it was 5 years previous to that.
Okay.
But he was coming up US 52 from Winston-Salem in North Carolina. That's the main road that connects, 77 goes south, and then 40 goes here.
Right.
So, if you've heard of, the Andy Griffith shows based on Mount Airy and Mount Pilot, okay?
Right.
And you ever been, where Pilot Mountain is?
Yeah.
Okay. It's somewhere in the area of Pilot Mountain. And he was heading north. He says about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and his 2 sisters is with him. And he got up along the road, and they was this rollback, a flatbed truck and a wrecker back end to end. And he thought somebody had been hit there.
Yeah.
And he got up there, and his sister screamed, "My God, that's a Bigfoot." They said there's this body stretched out. His feet was on the white line back the other side of that wrecker. It had to be 10 foot across there. Said that thing, you couldn't see its head, but it was either really dark brown or black. He said that thing's feet, he said it wasn't no bear's feet. Right, he lives right out there in the middle of bear country, in the best bear country, at least in this county out there, in the edge of Webster County. But he said that thing had feet about 15 inches. Well, he didn't say, he just made motion of his hand about like that. Yeah. And said it had pads that looked like a dog feet or something, but said it didn't have bear. Wasn't no bear. Said it wasn't no bear. That thing was stretched. It had to be, wider than that truck across there. Okay, and it was backed up to that wrecker. Okay, this is what I don't know how to figure out, but he said it's pretty rural down in there, so he drove it like 45 minutes time. He got up there, he come around, come back, and that body was gone, and the flatbed was gone. But he said the wrecker was still there, but it had a little old bear, about 75 pounds. He said no way that was the same thing. He said had that bear on that wrecker cable, letting it down the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah.
And there was 3 vehicles there around that had white and green license, like Forest Service license or something.
Okay.
But he said he wished 1,000 times since then that he stopped and demanded to know where that Bigfoot body went.
Yeah.
He said he was sure that was a Bigfoot's body, and it's went somewhere. So they have or had a body somewhere, and they did something with it.